Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Given that it's a huge problem in the entertainment industry, animation specifically, how does Rooster Teeth deal with crunch time?
Still working on it for sure.
Oh boy.
And it's like it's a harsh truth. I think that we have had good years. We've had very, very bad years, and nobody ever feels good about the bad years. I think it's interesting to sometimes think about the fact that the company was founded by some really great and insightful and influential people, but none of them also have ever ran an animation studio before. And so a lot of, as we've been making things, we've been having to learn how to kind of grow up and be an animation studio. It was really tough in the early days because before the animation department was an official department, we were just kind of like the nerds in the garage that made stuff. And it would suck when like, hey, we finish a project and it's like, all right, we have to let go of all these contractors because we can't afford to pay you on, we don't have another thing for you to work on. And as we've grown and we've been able to keep a steady flow of work, it's been really, really nice to try and hold on to as many people as possible. But there's still gonna be times where like, it don't work out due to one thing or another. It's tough, and it is something that is throughout the whole industry, and I think everybody needs to get better at, including Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I think, the problem areas are kind of easy to identify. When you have a pipeline, there's parts where a pipeline gets slowed down. The deadline does not change given that. So the sooner you can get something down to the next part of the pipeline, the better off everyone will be. And that starts from the very beginning, from writing the storyboards, getting it to the animator soon as possible so that audio can touch it as soon as possible, so compositing can touch it as soon as possible, without rushing it. So it takes compromise, it takes decisiveness, and that's, I think, something, Miles said we're still working on, learn by doing, I guess. Yeah. So we're definitely, I think, in the future heading on the right path.
Yeah, I think it requires crystal clear and honest communication between all parties, and that's not just in like the animation department and in that animation pipeline. It requires tons of great communication with our accounting department. Yeah. We need to know like, hey, are we still on budget? Have we gone over budget? Like, you need to give us a forecast right now so we know what we need to do to make sure that this thing's going to be okay.
Sometimes it's programming. It's like, oh, you need this series premiering here. Well, then we need to start it at this date.
Yeah.
And then this is how much runway we need.
And it also means doing the scary thing, which is sometimes saying, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because if someone comes to you with a seemingly impossible task and you're a people pleaser, or maybe sometimes it's scary, maybe you're a new employee and you don't want to be the one to say no. You want to try and show off how great you are. You have to be careful, because if you set a bar at a certain level, the people above you will remember that. Yeah. And if you set it way too high early on, it's going to set unrealistic expectations. So if someone comes to you and says, I need you to do this, and you don't think that's possible, you have to say it, because then that person can go talk to their producer, who can then maybe go talk to a showrunner or something like that, and then it lets them know, oh, damn, then we have a problem and we need to solve it now. Yeah. It's a tough question.
Yeah.
And I think the first studio that finds that perfect answer, they're going to make a lot of great stuff.